In a small village at the edge of a dark forest, the coldest winter anyone could remember gripped the land. Food was scarce, and the wind whispered through bare branches. Ash and his younger sister Ember lived with their father, missing their late mother's warmth. Their father, a woodcutter, struggled to provide, his heart heavy with worry. Hoping to restore happiness, he brought home a new wife, Mira, who at first seemed kind and brought small gifts. The children dreamed of warmth and laughter returning. For a few weeks, hope flickered in their home, but winter's chill lingered and the promise of happiness felt fragile. The stage was set for a story of survival, courage, and the unbreakable bond between brother and sister. As food dwindled, Mira's kindness vanished. Her smiles faded, replaced by cold glares and harsh words. She complained the children were a burden, and the house filled with tension. When their father left for the next village, Mira's true nature emerged. She led Ash and Ember deep into the forest under the pretense of gathering wood. Ash promised Ember he'd protect her, but fear grew as Mira led them off the familiar path. The children were being led into the heart of the woods, far from safety. The forest was a maze of snow and silence. Mira abandoned Ash and Ember in a clearing, telling them to wait. As the sun set, it became clear she would not return. The children huddled together, fear and cold closing in. Ash tried to reassure Ember, but they both knew they were lost. Night fell, and the forest became a place of shadows and strange sounds. Hunger and exhaustion pressed in. Alone and abandoned, Ash and Ember faced the darkness together, their only comfort the warmth of their bond. The vast, silent forest was their prison, and the night was just beginning, but hope, however small, still flickered. After days wandering, hunger and cold nearly defeated them. Then a magical scent led them to a cottage made of sweets and savory bits of bread deep in the woods. The house was made of sweets, and an old woman named Ilara welcomed them inside. She offered warmth, food and comfort, fussing over them with apparent kindness. Ash, grateful, trusted her completely, but Ember, ever watchful, sensed something was wrong behind Ilara's sugary smile. The cottage was a tempting haven, but danger lurked beneath its sweet surface. Ember's unease grew with every passing moment. The next morning, Ilara lavished Ash with food, insisting he eat more. Ember noticed the cottage's doors and windows were locked tight. This was no sanctuary. Ilara's kindness faded, replaced by watchful, hungry eyes. One night, Ember overheard Ilara's true plan to fatten Ash for her feast. Terror gave way to determination. Ember knew she had to act. She spent the night forming a plan to save her brother. The witch's trap was set, but Ember's courage burned brighter than her fear. She would not let Ash become the witch's next meal. The time for action had come. Ember set her plan in motion the next day. She convinced Ilara to check the oven's fire, feigning innocence. As the witch peered inside, Ember shoved her in and slammed the door shut, trapping her. The witch's cries faded, and Ember rushed to free Ash. Ash, amazed by his sister's bravery, realized her quiet strength had saved them both. Together, they found the key to the witch's treasure room. Ember's cleverness and love had triumphed over evil. The siblings prepared to leave, stronger and wiser. They gathered what they needed for the journey home. The forest no longer seemed so frightening. In the witch's lair, Ash and Ember found treasure enough to change their lives. They took only what they could carry, along with warm clothes and boots. Guided by a compass, they journeyed home, spirits high. Their father, desperate and grieving, was overjoyed at their return. The truth of Mira's betrayal was revealed, and she was banished. With the treasure, the family built a new, happy life. Ash and Ember's courage and love became legend in the village. Even in the coldest winter, hope and bravery can light the way home.